Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to talk about the fastest and most efficient ways to rank up your champions inside this game. Easily the #1 question that I get here on the channel. What is the best way to take a champion from 4 to 5 to 5 to 6 stars efficiently? Meaning using your energy in the smartest way, because energy is a finite resource, also one of the most valuable resources outside of gems inside the game. Coincidentally, a great way to spend your gems, which you do get from like the gem mine and here and there in events, is on energy. Energy is, you know, the best resource in the game in terms of investment worth your gems to spend on. Anyway, guys, what is the best way? I'm going to give you guys 8 tips in today's video. This video assumes that you already know the basics of the game, but just in case you don't, the best place to level up your food in the game is in 12.3 of Brutal. If you can't get to 12.3 of Brutal, no worries. You can go ahead and start your way in normal and then go to hard on the difficulty tab. Now you go into 12.3 and you simply choose a campaign farmer. A lot of you guys will use Kale as your starting campaign farmer. So boom, there he is. Kale is in the lead. Let me move myself over a little bit here. Kale's in the lead, and then you simply take your food champions. So basically your common, uncommon champions that you pull from mystery shards, and you run the team like this. It is always advisable that you run 3 champions alongside your level 60, hopefully, campaign farmer. That way you're not wasting any experience. We'll talk more about that as we get into the tips, but speaking of tips, let's jump into it. So tip #1 is, where are you getting all these food champions? Where are you getting these champions that you're going to be leveling up just to sacrifice in order to level up and rank up other champions inside the game? Well, it's going to be coming from mystery shards inside your portal. Now, you get mystery shards all the time in this game. In dungeons, you get them daily. You're just going to get a lot of mystery shards. You can see I'm sitting on 4,400 mystery shards. But the thing is, ideally, you're waiting to pull most of your, if not all of your mystery shards, right? You want to wait until there's an event going on that is a champion summoning event. Now, there's not one going on inside the game right now, but this is going to give you extra bang for your buck, and you always got to be thinking in this game, whether it's farming, whether it's shard opening, no matter what you're doing, right? You really want that to coincide with an event that's going on inside the game. So a champion summoning event is going to be a great time to go in there and pull all your food champions. So you should be essentially hoarding not just your mystery shards, but all of your shards until there's a double time opening event or until there's a champion summoning event. That way, not only are you pulling all your food champions that you get from mystery shards, but you're also going to at the same time be getting all those nice rewards from that champion summoning event. Alright guys, so back to 12.3. Let's talk quickly about efficiency. I already mentioned that your best bet is taking your campaign farmer and putting them in with the champions that you're trying to level up, whether they're food or just champions that you want to upgrade. So let's say I wanted to actually upgrade Seducer. I'd still put him on the team, obviously, with my food champions. Pretend these two are my food champions. Now let's talk a little bit about the odds, because again, it's all about energy, optimization, and efficiency. If I just ran 2 champions here instead of 4, it's going to be faster. The process to get Seducer to level 60 eventually, or get him at least to the next level in order to rank him up, is going to be faster. However, it's going to be half as efficient as if I was also leveling up food alongside him. So that's why we say always level up 4 champions at the same time unless you're in an incredible rush. Now, the absolute fastest way, and I guess the most efficient way to level up a champion, is to just stick them in the main role, in the lead spot, all by themselves, and obviously that's really not possible because he's going to die. But once you get to level 50, or once you get to 6 stars, even at a level 1, if you have artifacts on those champions, sometimes you can get the job done. However, again, it's not efficient in terms of time. However, there is a caveat to that. If you want the most efficient and fastest way to actually kind of the best of both worlds, and this isn't for everybody, and it is predicated on maybe doing a little bit of work on your masteries on these champions and or putting putting some artifacts on them, but it would be actually going to hard difficulty instead, and then going to 12-3 and putting that same champion, again, probably not the best example, a 3-star champion, but once you get them up to, again, level 50, let's just say I'm working on this champion, right? Well, if I put him all by himself, a few artifacts on him, then hey, on hard stage, he can solo, and that's actually more energy efficient, and maybe not the fastest, but still more energy efficient on hard mode than on brutal to put him solo. However, that's more of an advanced strategy, assuming you already have decent artifacts on your account. For the most part, 90% of you guys, if not more, are going to be leveling your champions, your food champions, and your champions you're just trying to upgrade using 4 champions, because that is the most efficient. They're splitting their experience 4 ways, meaning that 75% of your net experience is retained on champions that you want that experience to go to, meaning that 25% of your experience is wasted on the campaign farmer, but it's better than 50%. All right, guys, so the next one is very important, so listen up, right? So you can click on any of the champions on the opponent's team, which happens to be, 12-3 brutal here, and if we click on Lord Shazar, we can see his speed right here. His speed is 101. That's it. If we were to change difficulty, that speed will go up or down depending on which direction that we go, but that is his actual base speed right now, level 84 out of 60, 101. So what does that mean? Why am I even saying this right now? You guys should all have your campaign farmer faster than 101, and that's it. Speed doesn't matter as long as you're faster than their fastest champion, right? So I have my Queen Ava, who is my campaign farmer. If we look at her total speed, it is only 132, which is actually very low. Now, if we pull her up in the champion screen real quick, you guys will see that actually have attack percentage boots. And that's the point I'm trying to get at here, guys. On your campaign farmer, provided they're faster than Lord Shazar and 12-3, you can get away with having attack percentage boots on your campaign farmer. That's going to help ensure that they one-shot. Obviously, 100% crit rate is also important, depending on their skills. Queen Ava, obviously the champion that I have selected, has an extra percentage already built into her kit for higher crit rate. But what I'm trying to get at here is 100% crit rate and attack percentage on their boots as long as they're faster than Lord Shazar on 12-3. That way you're ensuring you kill the champions every time that you attack them. So next tip might be an obvious one, guys, but you can see I've got a lot of level 60 champions on my account. How? Well, A, I'm a dirty pay-to-win player. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that. But B, and truthfully, guys, and the point here is that I'm always leveling up food. If I don't know what to do, if I've done my arena battles, if I've done my clan boss attacks, if I've done my faction war attacks in this game, I'm just gonna go ahead and level up food all the time, even if I'm not certain, I'm not specifically trying to upgrade one champion at that given moment. If there's not one champion that I'm trying to build up and rank up, I'm still leveling food, because once you pull that champion, you wanna have those champions ready to go, those food champions ready to sacrifice. That way you are good to go and you can get them to 6 stars. This obviously pertains more to mid and late game players, but you should always be working on leveling food, even if you don't need it at the given moment. So next tip for the late game, guys, is Dragon 20. So Dragon 20, if you're in the end game. So look at this team that I have that way. It's Apothecary, it's Bad L, Zargala, and Scylla the Drakes. Now, not all 4 of these champions are necessary for this run. As a matter of fact, I could take out Apothecary and still successfully beat Dragon 20 with this team. Dragon 20 considered the easiest of the 4 main dungeons in this game where you get your artifacts and your accessories from. And the benefit to that is once you get to the point where you're able to build up a team, 6-star champions, and have a team that you can beat Dragon 20 only using, 3 or 4 champions, you should be leveling up food also in Dragon 20, right? Again, it's all about energy efficiency. So if I want to level up a Cold Heart, or if I want to level up 2 Cold Hearts, I would just put them in with this team. They would die right away. That's totally fine. The rest of the champions would finish off the dragon. It would take an extra minute or 2 to get that that run done. But again here, guys, it's not about time, it's about energy. So I'm not only am I leveling up, getting artifacts, getting silver as well, but I'm also leveling up either food or champions I'm just trying to level up to use on my account. So again, this is an end game tip for you guys, and the experience is much less than you're going to be getting in campaign. However, much easier on your energy, and this is what I talk about passively always upgrading food champions. You can do it just right in your normal dungeon runs. So the next tip, guys, is basically who to decide to max next. Like, what champions are you even leveling up these food in order to actually get to level 60, get to 6 stars? What decisions should go into what champion you focus on next here. And for me, I always think about 3 factors, and forgive me if you've heard this 10 times already on this channel, so I'll go through them quickly. End game viability. Can this champion get me through the end game? Can I use this champion when I'm at the end game, even if you're just starting playing? Is this champion worth investing in the long run? Number 2 is their value over replacement. How much better is this champion than the champion that I'm currently using on the teams I intend to use this champion in? And number 3 is overall versatility. How many areas overall can I use this champion? Now, one thing to note here, guys, is that I tend to err on the side of investing in support champions over attack champions. That's a general rule, not a specific, because obviously there are amazing attack-based champions in this game that you're of course going to want to invest in. However, support champions are really good because they're always going to help you out, even in Faction Wars and soon in Doom Tower as well. So, just for, S's and G's here on the video, guys, who am I working on next? You can see I've got a bunch of legendary champions who are ready for 6 stars, and I'm gonna have to make a tough decision. Who do I want to go with, But believe it or not, I'm actually not gonna go with one of these legendaries that I have at 5 stars, because again, factoring in all the things that I mentioned earlier, I think my best bet right now on my account is Sky Touched Shaman, because I know I can rely on her in Platinum Tier Arena. She's a support champion, and I can use her for progression as well. So it's not always rarity that's going to dictate which champion you should be focused on next, as long as you kind of stick to those 3 principles that we talked about just a second ago. So tips number 7 and 8, guys, are 2 tips in terms of who we're not focusing on, who you do not want to use as food. So tip number 7 is basically you don't want to be using any of your epic or legendary champions as food, with one exception to that rule. That is, once you get to the end game, you can see me, my vault is pretty much full right now, and I have a bunch of, epic champions essentially. I don't think I have any rares in here. No rares, right? So I'm almost at capacity. So now I'm at the point where I have to start making decisions regarding which epics am I going to use as food. It sucks to say, but it's true. So at this point in the game, which again, I know the majority of you guys aren't at right now, so we'll move on quickly, but at this point, I'm going for champions that, not that I have dupes of, but trips, right? So go and sacrifice champions that you have triples of, because they still do, even though they do fragment summons mainly now, they still do old school fusions. You always want to make sure you have at least duplicates of champions. So dupes is not enough to use a champion as food, but if you have a trip, go ahead and do it. And then the last tip for you guys is rares, right? So you're going to be pulling a lot of rares from your mystery shards as well. Just kind of a word of advice to you guys, right? When you get a rare champion, even if they have bad reviews inside the game, you can't trust the reviews, the character reviews that you click on inside Raid Shadow Legends. Sometimes they provide a decent barometer of the overall strength of this champion, but oftentimes they're way off base, okay? So don't go by the reviews. Make sure you look at the champion's skills. Take 10 seconds to read through their skills and look, are they a defensive-based champion? Because if so, they have some inherent value right there because they're easier to build. Number 2 is, what are they doing? Could you use some of those skills? Make the decision for yourself. Start to get in the habit of not always having to rely on the in-game reviews or YouTube or a write-up on a website. Even though all those resources can hold value, you have to actually read these champions, read their skills. And it's something that I didn't do for the first few months that I was playing. I don't even know why, so I'm imagining some of you make the same mistake. Read your skills and read your masteries. Even if you don't understand something, Google it, right? Because, we got Google. You can always understand something. So guys, those are all the tips that I have for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, I invite you to subscribe here to the channel. We'd love to have you. I upload every single day on Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.